Hello, good evening. Welcome back. Another episode of the Trio Podcast. You know what, y'all? Y'all turned us up our very first episode returning.
Y'all here for it.
We need an air horn or something. We need to set the tone of the situation.
This up. So just, you know what? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I mean, that was a nice way to return.
To welcome us back.
Absolutely, from our little hiatus.
They said we done with that virtual shit. Y'all tried it. Y'all ain't cocktails.
Y'all tried it.
Get that shit together.
Okay, no, for sure. But again, you know, continue to drop comments, follow us, repost. Chrissy B, Fallon, Mookie, Trio,
and the white wine.
And right, I've got so many bottles for my birthday. So thank you to whomever
this original wine
gave me this bottle.
Oh my God!
But I got like 5 more at home. So I got some Clico and I got some other champagne.
Why we didn't pop the bottle then?
Excuse me, sis. I'm saving that for a very special.
Ain't that some shit?
I know. You know what? When I get my new job,
my new job.
See, I'm gonna keep that in mind.
I love y'all though.
Do not share your good stuff with the podcast.
That is scandalous.
I'm gonna bring it.
No, this is a good
No, because Mookie brought her pure white.
Pure white, Clico. I've been bringing all my stuff.
True. Don't do that. I'm gonna bring the Snoop Dogg next time. We love Snoop.
We
love Uncle Snoop.
Is good, actually.
Y'all don't like Snoop?
Look at the comparison. No.
Oh my God.
Don't share your good stuff, Fallon.
Y'all scan. This is a South Coast winery, honey.
Brute.
From Temecula, okay? From the valleys of Temecula.
Is that near Santa Barbara?
From the long valleys of Temecula.
Is that near Santa Barbara?
This is the fine wines, probably from very nice grapes.
Beautiful.
Probably aged today.
So sip to that, and you know, I had a great birthday. My birthday was before our last recording.
Right.
It was a nice way to bring in 38. All my friends were there. My family was there. It was amazing. It was raining like cats and dogs. I don't know what this LA weather is giving.
I love the rain
these
so
days.
I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah, but it's cold.
It is.
Y'all not waking up to ice on y'all's grass and lawns and cars?
We ain't got no grass, child.
Okay, first of all, I stay in the unit.
There's no ice on your car? Really? It was ice on my windshield. So there's ice on my windshield. So it's that cold.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, you know, of course I'm going to get right into the music topics. I have some homies that I want to shout out. I want to give a shout out to, of course, Airplane James. He dropped his new project called Still Hurt. So shout out to APJ. I was like APJ.
How you throw it up, Mookie?
Diamond Lane. Shout out to Plane. He got this song called Take It Easy. That's a banger. So y'all stream that.
Wait, in a double shout out because he had a spot in the New House Party movie.
He sure did.
Yeah, he got
like a placement?
a placement.
Yeah.
He got a music placement. Full credit at the end, and that movie is worth the watch.
I'm hearing the best things about it.
Great things about it.
Yeah.
It's a easy, good, light watch.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, of course you of course I did. I'll tell you guys how I watched it right from the theater of my home.
Oh,
But,
right.
kidding.
Right.
But it was good. It was a light, easy to watch movie, full of pop-ups, full of like cultural references. Like if you in the know, you know what I mean. So they wasn't trying to remake it too much, you know what I'm saying? But it was like it was a good of today's time of a little movie. It was. He had a little placement in the end.
Chuck and Head had a little
They had
placement.
I think I saw Butter, or I saw somebody who looked just like
it was
Butter.
Butter.
Was it? Okay, he was.
Yeah. Real LA.
I mean, it was Calmatic, directed by Calmatic.
Of course, shout out to him.
Well, where the hell was the trio at? We could have been a TLC.
Right.
Y'all better tap in. I don't know who y'all think is representing the West Coast.
I know.
The Crenshaw district.
He liked my tweet about the movie, and I'm like, my friend was trying to get you to sit in the seat for a while, but way before.
Anyway.
But nonetheless, please finish.
Yesterday's price is not today's price and shit.
Moreover. That's all.
Right, okay.
Right.
Second shout out. It's going to be very close to playing Griff Tyler. Shout out to Griff.
Oh, Griff.
He dropped a new EP called Wish You Well, R&B Vibes.
He is so handsome. He's a handsome guy.
Very nice
Well,
chocolate.
is Mr. Griff. How old is Mr. Griff?
I don't know.
Mr. Griff, Griffy Griff, Billy Griff.
Griff might be... I don't even know.
He legal, ain't he? No,
I don't know.
I was just gonna say,
he might be 30 in his 30s.
What's the youngest you would do? If you were to be dating, I'm not saying that you're openly dating. I don't know where you guys are. We haven't even had those
particular
conversations.
age.
I know Kay is like, available.
Available. Single, ready to mingle and shit.
For those that fit the criteria. Mookie, I don't know. So, like, would you date somebody that was younger?
It depends how much younger.
Same.
How much younger?
Right. Maybe like, I'm 37.
Maybe at 5
34, 34, maybe.
I'm capping it at 34.
I wouldn't date anybody 20 nothing.
Right.
31, 2, 3. I don't know.
31, 2,
no, I don't
3.
know. Like,
well, I met a young
know.
man that I want to say is 28, 29, and he was very mature. So actually, the guy that I was in the video with Rick James.
Yes.
He is Anthony's. I want to say 28 or 29.
He's a nice guy.
Very nice guy. Very mature.
I think the age.
So I didn't. When he told me his age, I was completely shocked because he wasn't giving. I don't even know what 28, 29 is giving anyway. But he was very, very mature.
Well, we all know that
on his shit. Very grown, very mature, taking care of himself, very well off.
To a certain extent, but
because that was my second thought process. Like, if he's young, like how much younger?
Right.
And not even that. That was wrong thought. I glanced at myself and fucked myself up. My thought was, it depends what life you lived at that particular age. Because you have some people who have lived, as Miss Auntie Wendy used to say.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you may be a different mature at 30.
You're an older 28.
Very much so. You know what I mean? But just to speak, ignorantly, I'll probably say 35 would be the youngest.
That's not even that. That's not young, Mookie. That's like
okay, right. That's like 35-year-old. 24 months and shit. Okay,
that's not.
He's still our same. He's
like 30.
Okay,
like a big like
okay,
30. And of course, anything
32, 32, I'd be like, oh my god, you feel me? Because then, that would be it.
Yeah,
that would be the absolute youngest, and he'll have to have height.
Who did I just see on your girl? It was so funny. I saw a tweet that you had retweeted or somebody had tweeted, and they didn't know that Angie Martinez rapped.
Airplane.
I was like,
and Nick Banga. I had to send him a reference.
Child.
That just shows you the generational difference and gap. Because that makes no sense that y'all don't know that she rapped.
Especially on that record.
I had to, first of all,
our children. Baby, she had
to school the children because I was a little like, y'all cannot be serious.
Yeah, so that's where it comes into play, where it's like, it's a difference in age. It's a generational
They didn't grow up on that. That was way after them.
So you either have to be comfortable with putting them onto it or, just that kind of being, and that might be like a aphrodisiac though, because it's like, I could put you on the things you don't know about or whatever, like you can keep me hip and shit. So I ain't just listening to
not keeping me hips. Honey, listen. I ain't got time for you hip all the time, though.
I know that's right.
That's too much.
20 nothing. You got to be at least 30.
Right.
Even for fun? Or for, like, long term? I think fun is different.
Fun,
back in the day, though,
First of all, I ain't trying to see nobody get 30 or whatever that new shit that they be doing.
What's happening?
What's the new dances? Whatever.
Don't let me call Yuri on FaceTime and be like, baby,
you can't get sturdy.
Whatever the new dance they be doing. Like, I'm trying to get on a date. You trying to do a TikTok dance. Like, I just feel like that's of the generation.
That's wild.
Right behind us.
That's wild.
That's just what I think. Yeah. I could be wrong.
Child, I don't know.
So 30. But for fun, 30.
30.
For
28?
That's too young. Nah. Anyway, anywho,
moving along.
I do want to drop a couple of more things though. So you guys know recently Drake performed with the Apollo, right? And I thought that was fire because there's a little small, like, they're teasing him right now on social media because he was so juiced because he brought out the Dipset.
Right.
And so he came, he had his pink fur on. He was just a fan. He was Dipset out. Yeah. He was a fan, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, why can't he be a fan in peace? I'm like, y'all don't understand that Drake was growing up during the prime of the Dipset.
Right.
Because they iced him out with like a bracelet and he was on stage like a real fan. Living his dream. And they were just going off on him like, you look stupid. Like, why are you smiling, cheesing ear to ear? And I thought that was kind of whack because I'm like, Drake was not rapping then. He was a fan. Mm-hmm. He was a teenager and he was a fan. Yeah. And it's okay to be able to experience that, even though Drake is, of course, probably the biggest artist in our generation.
Correct.
He can still be a fan.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't get teased for being on stage, like, admiring Jim Jones and Joel Santana and Freaky Zeke.
We're not in the space of the fans anymore. Like, people forgot what it's like to be a fan.
They feel like they're a peer.
Fan, basically. Yeah. Yes, I think we're too close to the celebrity now. That's why we're able to voice such opinionated opinions, if that even fucking makes sense. So I think, doesn't he dick riding then? Why he on him so tough? It's so much easier versus to say, damn, look at him. Like, he's really, like, they are them. In case y'all forgot,
Right.
They are still
the
there.
guys of the rap game.
Yes.
Them amongst many others.
Yeah, it's just too much. Like, then that's when I get tired of the fans. Like, it's irritating. Even the Beyonce Beehive. Like, as much as I love her down, it's like these new fans or whoever they are.
Yeah.
Voices. Where's the visuals, girl? Y'all, they're coming.
They talking about talking to Beyonce. Excuse me. Talking about where the visuals. Like,
that's wild. That's wild.
Right. Like,
excuse me. Y'all better go back and watch the last 30.
Right.
And study them.
Intel, don't. Why would you take the 35 mil? What?
Speaking of music, as we're on the music topic,
Right.
she did open up that Dubai performance for that hotel, whatever.
She did Atlantis in Dubai for
What
like
an amazing
$35 million.
Oh my God. I mean, every time I watch her, I'm always in awe. It just, I guess.
No, that's top tier.
I guess I get
That's top tier
surprised
performance.
because I think that every time I see her, then I won't keep getting surprised. But every single time I see her, I'm more and more wowed. And it's just a theatrics for me.
First of all, it looked culturally tailored for Dubai. That
It
stage,
did. Absolutely.
it gave,
Everything.
for me, it
Yes.
gave every bit of like the 70s glam something,
Yes.
showroom something, showgirl.
Yeah.
But Mama's had on her kitten heels, and
Girl,
I know.
she said, I'm not doing it.
But
I've
no,
seen that.
no, I know.
The kitten heels are hilarious.
Girl,
But I know she had foot surgery, so I know that she can't wear her 6 inches. But I get more sad when I see her perform because I know
It's coming.
that it's coming.
It's coming.
The second we get this DC reunion, the second we get this little final farewell
That's
where
how
the
we
girls
gonna
come
know it's
out,
gonna close
I already
out.
know.
Yeah.
I already know. She was trying to position Chloe, but the fans or the people act like they wasn't receptive to her. But Beyonce sitting down.
Yeah, she it's coming, guys. So yeah. Well, yeah, for Drake, I mean, I feel like he's the biggest in the
back
game.
to Drake, right?
Right, back to Drake. Sorry, Drake.
No, but that was a good
respect.
insert. Yeah.
But when you're the biggest in the game, you can expect to have ridicule over everything. They tease Drake over anything and everything. You know what I mean? And Drake is like the biggest in the game. So I mean, it's part and parcel to being the shit and being that guy. Like, people are always gonna have something to say. I'm sure he's very unbothered. If he's not, he should be. I wouldn't be tripping. I wouldn't be worried about it.
I'm so over it. I'm over people commenting on, just be a fucking fan.
And shut up.
Like, just be a fan.
Or don't. And be a fan of whoever you're a fan of.
Like, right. But I don't see how that's a bad thing. He brought up Dipset at the Apollo with a bodega
Nigga, that's a bar.
on the stage. Like, that's
As
dope.
a fan, I would have
supposed to
fanned
do?
out because that's a moment. We don't have those kind of moments.
These are,
to highlight.
that's because these people don't know. Like,
balling and shit. I would have been in there
We-
balling
let me
too.
tell you.
I would have did all that shit.
Right.
not remember that time I told that.
I would have been participating. Yeah, all that shit.
Let me tell you, I feel like Drake was like the last of that particular
Hip-hop.
group of hip hop and artistry. I don't foresee that being recreated no more.
Right.
Like, I don't. That's how Kendrick can still apply old. I come out when it's time for me to pop out. I can go back when I
That's a
want
good
to.
analysis.
Drake just kind of play out there on the internet with everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I feel like for me, he was like the last. I don't know who came after Drake. That's why the Drake, Cole, Kendrick, that's why that sit where it sits. I don't know what other artists.
I mean, the
Who's
people that were
come
amongst
out,
his class,
boom.
like Ross, but I mean, they were all amongst his class. Like,
Right,
they
and
were
that's
all
still,
in the same class. Yeah.
You know, like,
So,
I don't know
yeah.
the new school of anybody that's. I don't know. I don't even know what new school artists will even have the longevity where we would care in a few years who they brought out.
We gonna see. We gonna see.
We gonna see.
Yeah, because that's a whole nother conversation.
Right, because they don't last as long. It's like even your faves just got 15 minutes. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
You guys don't think Kendrick has longevity?
Well, of
Kendrick-
course.
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
the people
with
that
the-
are
with
already
the exception.
solidified. I think we're talking about more of like
the
the
new-
ones that
right.
like we don't know, like some of these new people.
Like the
I'm not gonna
like the
name
little
names,
babies,
but-
I don't hear
the
none of
Uzi
that. I don't hear
Verts and
the music doesn't sound timeless. So that's where for me it doesn't sound timeless. You know, we used to have, and I guess that's where I'm stuck because we all come from that Jay-Z, Tupac, Nas, Biggie era,
Yep.
right? And then
Yep.
after that, we got Fab, we got
Yep.
Ross, we got Jeezy. So we come from that era. Real niggas had to rap.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm like, and you can name 1,000 records from all of them, T.I., all of them who have timeless records.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, where are those records when the production is heavy, the lyricism is heavy,
Well,
where you
it
have
exists, but
as a certain sound,
Everything is
and a chord
independent
to it.
now. So
I was
everybody's
just about
like,
to say that.
no one's really going through the channels of the labels anymore. And so everybody has their cult following. I just retweeted something Larry June dropped the gym talking about like, should I go on another tour? Larry was out here. We saw Larry in San Diego. But I mean, his show, I'm talking about when you have your cult following word for word, crazy production. You know, he been fucking with Cardo for a minute. quality music.
Yeah.
Timeless, because he really doing a lot of like samples and everything like that, so that make it timeless too. But I mean, like, it just bang, you can tell that he's really studied music. You can tell in the way it sounds. So we're gonna find out.
Yeah,
We'll
that was my same feeling, because I think back then you had, I mean, even then people complained about like the production. You know, Nas can't pick a beat, but it still sound dope. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing. But I think Fallon's right, because you did have the label behind you. You had access to them ones. You know what I'm saying? You had access to high production. You know, versus today where it's like, shit, the homie been cooking, let me get with him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, everybody can't get to Hit Boy at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that's the difference. In this chasing the sounds change. So I try to respect that. You know, this drill mumble rap genre thing, you know, that just it didn't work for me, but, you know, it's not my age group.
Who's your favorite new artist?
I don't have one.
Okay.
Probably Lil Baby.
Lil Baby, yeah.
I mean, if I had to say somebody, I would say Lil Baby, only because I know his work.
I mean, I don't even really know what he's talking about, but it still sounds cool.
Right. I like
what
him.
He's talking about.
But I think he was the one when he had his run and went. You know what I mean? Like, I was in Atlanta and my sister friends was talking about him, and they older than my older sister. You know what I mean? So it was like he was crossing little demos, and I thought that was pretty awesome. And then when we went to his concert, I've never been to a concert that was predominantly black. Like every artist I go to,
we went to that one concert. That shit looked like Atlanta.
They were like 90%. Yes, 90% black. And most concerts you go to, it don't be.
Yeah,
you know, that's why I never understand.
We don't support each other. We don't come out.
No, we do.
Not like that. No, you know how we support? First of all, we are the tastemakers. So if we say it's hot, then you're going to make money. Because everybody else going to be following the trend of us blaming your music. So it don't really matter. Like, we are the ones that set the trend and set the tone. So if we don't come, it's people that's going to be coming because they want to tap into the culture and everything else, as they always do.
Right.
Transitioning. So let me find out. There's been a lot going on. One of the things that I wanted to talk about that I feel like is top of mind based on the latest interview that dropped on No Jumper. I think it was Sharp's podcast, though. There's so many different like sub podcasts under the No Jumper brand. But I know Shark, and is it Sharp or Shark? Does anybody know?
I thought it was Shark.
Shark.
I thought it was Shark.
I thought it was
but
Shark
I could be
because
wrong.
he's so sharp. With a P.
Oh, God, okay.
I think he's so player. I think he's so funny. He said the word escapades, and I thought that was so funny. Like he said through all of the escapades. I'm like, the escapades? Not
that his voice.
He's super funny. But him and Gina Views, shout out Gina Views, did an interview with Krishan and Blueface.
Correct.
For everybody or anybody, I guess.
Oh, it might be Sharp with a P.
Sharp with a P.
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody, you know, unless you're living under a rock, Krishan and Blue are kind of like taking the internet by storm just with their seemingly toxic, all over the place like relationship. They have the thing on the show on Zeus. I think it's called, what is it called? Bad Girls, Bad Bunnies,
no,
bad babies, bad baddies.
No, she's on two different shows. It's, I don't know. They got a couple shows, and then she got a
and then
separate
she has her
show
own show or Baddies or something like that.
But that's a
right?
separate show, right?
So, child, this interview was about 2 hours, and y'all gotta go check it out and go see it. And not because we want to look at, because I also don't believe in circling the bandwagon around a train wreck and being like, oh my God, and just pointing in judgment, because we all have been in toxic situations. We come from toxic situations, whether it be our parents, siblings, family members. Like, we all have experienced that kind of energy before. The part that's concerning to me, or the point of conversation that I want to have is, you know, a lot of the times it's kind of like a lot of empathy for Krishan because she is the woman in the situation. They have been in physical altercations that have been documented. You can see them both fighting each other. She's heavy-handed, as they used to say back in the day. So she's not no little girl that's just like, you know, oh my God, just getting beat up. Like, they throwing them. Mm-hmm. So they're in these physical altercations. It's toxic. I know Mookie dropped in the chat too. She done fought his mama. He done knocked the daddy out. It's a mess.
It's a shit show.
We got shit show.
It's a shit show.
It's alcohol.
It's a fucking shit show.
I think there may be substances involved.
Allegedly.
You know, allegedly. There's a lot of different moving parts. And so one thing, though, again, like going back to Krishan, like a lot of us have empathy for her, as we should, because she is a Black woman in a situation that obviously there's domestic violence happening and, you know, other abuse that may be taking place. And then, of course, everyone is questioning her self-esteem and character and how she feels about herself, all of the things she needs to go to therapy. What about Blue, though? Because what I saw in the interview, if you guys go back and you watch it, he was giving reference to his mother and how that whole situation happened with how Krishan and his mom even ended up fighting initially anyway. And the things that he was saying, my mama was calling me a bitch. She kept calling me a bitch. She was throwing stuff at me. She was basically acting in the fashion that his girl act.
Yep.
And we have to start thinking about, okay, where do our values come from? Where does our value system come from? Where do our ethics and codes and morals come from? If your mother behaves like that, he said, I used to see my mama beating bitches' ass all the time. Like, if that's something that you're used to, then when it comes time for you to find a mate, then of course you're going to naturally attract that into your circumference, right? So I was more concerned with the fact that I think we need to start talking more about men with insecurities and men that don't value themselves enough to pick the right woman. Because all I saw, and Shark was telling him, like, bro, like, ain't that your man? Because of course, okay, they shouldn't even be together because they hitting each other. He like, anyway, I know how I go. Like, but if this your man, you hitting your man, you get what I'm saying? You can't let your man speak. You disrespecting him in public.
Right.
Do you really love him or whatever? And she couldn't control herself. And he was telling him, like, OG, the little homie, like, bro, she don't fuck with you like that.
Absolutely.
That's out of pocket. She out of pocket.
She's disrespecting you.
She's publicly on numerous of occasions. She's a live wire. She needs help. As does he, though. Because he kept saying, like, he was almost like she was a charity case. Like, well, I'm doing this for her. I know she's a solid person and this, that, and the third. But, like, baby, it's you, too. You need help. So I just wanted to get your thoughts, ladies, on what do you think about men and self-esteem? I know you guys have obviously dated tons of men and their self-esteem and their self-confidence. If they have the capacity and the discernment within themselves to choose the right woman, or, have you found that some men don't even value themselves enough to feel like they deserve better and end up settling for women that are verbally abusive, physically abusive, conniving, manipulative, they'll tell on you. Like, I'm just saying, what do y'all think about it?
That was such a loaded
that was a
question.
Lot.
That was like a lot.
That was a lot.
It wasn't even broken into sections.
I'm trying to untangle it.
So I'm trying to untie that because it's a lot to address at once.
What about that specific situation? And then we can kind of go into some personal experiences maybe.
Okay, got it.
I don't know if I should really tell my honest opinion about how I feel.
I think you should tell it.
Because I'm not really... It's like twofold.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's so many people that have like empathy for her that say like black woman this, have her back. But she is also like the root of the issue. Yeah. Right? From what it seems. From what it seems. We don't really know. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, right? Yeah. And so if I take position on having his back, I feel it comes off like I'm not protecting a black woman. Right. Or I'm not having the back of a black woman. But from what we see, she's a fucking like rocket. You know what I'm saying? Like she takes off on everybody. She just red carpet. She was on the red carpet. Bitch, you take it off of your stylist at the event. Like what's tea?
Her ex-stylist.
She's a rocket. Like she can't control herself in certain situations. So for me, from what we see, it seems like she's the problem. Like, if he's talking to another woman or if he's doing this, it could be casual. She's not having it. She don't have the capacity to just chill. Yeah. It seemed like she's the issue. And I'm thinking like, well, what is really going on? From what we see, it looks like she's the problem.
And that's shout out to whoever was able to spin the narrative. Yeah. Because it came out, because Blueface is coming out a little bit clean. Yeah. I will say that because I was thinking about that earlier. Now that you say that, because initially it was a lot of blues bad girls club. Remember he had all that. Yeah, it was a bunch of negative press around him. Her fighting the mom, the sister. Who cares about the backstory when it's like that's your mom, bro? That's your you know what I mean? Like initially when the story broke, because all you saw was his girlfriend beat up so and so. That's all we saw, and it was like, damn, Blueface, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? So now, as Christian said, we do look at it like, I think it's her. You know what I mean? So go ahead.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I'm feeling when I'm looking at the situation again. I don't really know in depth what's going on, but he came out and was like, at this point it's transactional, it's business, but it's to a point where it's not even funny anymore. It's not funny anymore. It's not cute, and you guys' reputation is based off altercations and fights. Is that even healthy?
And that's what Wack was saying on the clip. Like, all this is bad for business, and it's like I agree with him.
Like, who would want to book her for anything?
Or
like,
him,
right?
Or what brands, or who would want to be tethered to him in that way?
To know that we're gonna book them, and she's gonna come inside of our establishment and pop off
and tear it up.
She gonna tear,
or just to know that she can't contain. Can't contain her emotions. But like I said in our group chat, I felt like he created a monster. You know what I mean? Not saying that this, no, fuck that. I'm going to stand on it. I feel like at one point, you know, before we knew her, this could have been her, right? But at some point, I feel like it was contained until it wasn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? You start signaling people like she's a fucking animal. You start applauding the shit and start rewarding her with the behavior, and now this is what we got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then she's in situations where I do feel like, to a degree, people are capitalizing off the fact that she's a loose fucking cannon.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because there's no reason why she should be on baddies other than the fact that it's just we love to watch a train wreck.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I do think that's kind of fucked up. And when I say created a monster, I mean he reinforced the bad behavior. You know, he gave it positive reinforcement. Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, somebody should have saw that shit coming. But at the end of the day, whatever you can make a couple bucks off of, you're gonna exploit it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think that good prayers and thoughts to both of them, because because it's just too much, and it's just unfortunate. So
not in thoughts.
Yeah,
that's what the interview illustrated. It was kind of like, you know, she made us buy into the ideology that she is the problem.
Yeah.
Because he was very calm and he was very composed and kind of like, babe, why are you tripping? Woo, woo, woo. She started going into this story about something that happened because she essentially like cracked him in the back of the head with like a glass bottle. Yeah. Or something like that. Something very, very crazy. And she was trying to justify it and give reasons and background and context as to why. It didn't really make sense. She started getting more and more heightened, and they had to physically remove her from the scene.
And she was trying to say, without saying, I guess, that, so I hit you first, because she's like, okay, I always look like the bad guy. It's always, you know, me. What about the shit that you do, Blue? Like, so I hit you first?
Yeah.
Or stand on the shit that you do.
Right.
But she couldn't really say it, because I think she do respect him, and you could tell she obviously like love him.
Yeah.
Like, she's a real ride or die. Yeah. Like, I don't even know if I'm that much of a ride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Ride or die.
Like, I don't know how far I'm loyal, but not
to
that soil. Like, I probably would have had to jump ship. Like,
that a long time ago.
I can't do that. But even in, I don't know. The shit just weird. Like, fuck it. I can't even. Like, look at me. I just squirt everywhere. Oh my god.
We couldn't see that
on the next episode.
Y'all missed it.
Yeah.
But talking about the kinks, Jesus Christ, contain yourself.
Right.
Contain yourself.
Yeah.
But to answer your other question about what was the guys dating girls that's insecure?
So I guess, what that led me into thinking was, like, damn, like, why are you taking this dude? Now, again, I think it is important. I want us to really drive home the point that they are both being abusive to each other. So he's not the victim. We're not saying that. Yeah. And she should be protected as a black woman. She should be advocated for, all of those things, which we're obviously going to do, or we should be doing, whatever. But for the black, this is not that podcast, I'm sorry. For the black man, no, like, I don't think we give enough credence to the fact that they also deal with a lot of insecurities. If you've grown up in a household with a mother, a maternal figure around you, not pouring anything into you spiritually, mentally, emotionally, reaffirming you, your father too. Right? Because you kind of really need both, or some kind of masculine figure or something to kind of build up that confidence, give you a sense of character, and you know, all of those things. If you are not given those tools, as you get older and you get into these relationships, you are going to cipher in those same types of women. And I know we have homeboys or family members or whatever, men that we've dated, that have been attached to women that are completely out of their minds. Right. So it's like, what did you do to attract this kind of woman? You just not no savior. You attract what you are. Exactly. So if you brought this woman into your space, this is what you're reverberating. This is who you are. So have you guys experienced that, where you've seen a man, either that you dated in your family, whatever, that has been with women that are toxic? Like, bro, do you not think anything of yourself? Do you have low self-esteem?
I don't know. I'm certain I have. It's just not coming to mind, because that's just shit. Some shit you deal with and you go and grow through at the end of the day. Right. But some men just they like that, because you also have some who've experienced a certain type of mothering, and they want nothing to do with that type of woman at all.
Right.
Like they won't even tolerate a woman who drink. Like my mom's alcoholic. I don't fuck with none of that.
Right.
Like that's their boundary. That's their
Right.
baseline.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of tenfold, and it really, really depends on the person. Because some men are toxic too, and they like all of the bullshit. That's
I was
why I
gonna
say
say that,
you
yep.
created a monster. Like you like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I want a woman who feisty, but
Yep.
by the end y'all fighting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what you like, you better love in the end. You know. So I think some men have the ability to turn a woman crazy.
Yeah.
If we could still say that word, through gaslighting, through putting her in situations
Yeah.
where she gotta, you know what I'm saying, act a certain way, you know, and what's up with them? I don't know. Maybe to them, that's how they feel loved or something. Like, if you're not
Yeah.
mad, you don't love me.
Yeah.
Or something like that, which doesn't make fucking
Yeah.
sense because I mean, I used to be like that. I used to try to test somebody's jealousy just to see, like, how
Do
they
you
gonna
care about
respond.
me? Do
You
you
know what I
love
mean? I was
me?
much younger, but
Yeah.
I'm still trying to test your jealousy, or I'm gonna call you back and not, or just doing bullshit, just
Right.
dumb shit, just to see. And I don't know why. I didn't have to fight for attention growing up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I wasn't that child, or the child who always felt unloved or overshadowed.
Right.
But in my own, for whatever reason, it's like, let me see, is it me?
Yeah.
And that was just some bullshit.
Right.
You know, because I could have did that so much where, nigga, I'm tired.
Right.
You know
it's
what
just
I mean?
like toxic. It's just
Yeah.
not like what was it helping, or what was it?
It wasn't, like-
positively to the relationship.
But I'm certain I've experienced it. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? At the time, I probably didn't have the label for it, but I can't think of a solid incident now. But I'm certain I've been put in situations. I know others who've been
Because
put in
we always
situations to
get
be
the
on
jacket
bullshit.
of being insecure. Yeah, well, y'all insecure. Y'all like, bro, like you don't think that highly of yourself
Exactly.
either. You don't feel like you deserve a woman that really love you and care about you, that really believes in what you do, that will be loyal to you and you know hold you
No.
up, and you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You don't
because
really
then you
believe that
create
you're worth that.
all these dumbass boundaries. You know what I'm saying? That's when
Right.
the ego get out of control. That's when you keep getting into it because I'm saying, oh, I'm going out with my friends and why should we go into the next spot? I shouldn't have to go to one spot then come the fuck home.
Right.
I shouldn't have to say, hey, I'm leaving. Hey, I'm going. Hey, fuck all that. That's because your insecure ass don't trust nobody.
Right, based on your own experience,
Based on your own, based on your
you're
own
not
shit.
worthy.
Yeah.
And you gotta control. If you trust, you trust.
Right.
Period.
Right.
We done talked about this. Like hell, you should be able to trust your girl whether she's in a room with a millionaire or
right.
or the $2 man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not
Like
the
at the end of the day. But they
Smoking
don't.
prices.
They be so fucking insecure.
Yeah.
They be insecure as fuck.
What about you, Kay? Have you ever like
Look at me
been
projecting? So
around
I guess
a
I've
man?
experienced
Well,
it.
I've dealt with the man that.
A man or men? Jesus,
No,
Kay.
sorry, excuse me. the man, the one.
the man.
I've dealt with a man that likes women that are like his mother.
Oh,
Which is like, so in this particular, being very specific, like very ghetto, very loud, very
Ooh,
raw.
throw him under the bus.
No.
I'm joking,
no,
girl.
yeah, no, she's not gonna.
So
do
he's
that.
very, he was very used to that. So he used to always like throw that, like that I wasn't that.
How
Like,
would he frame that? Like, well, you don't ever turn up, but why you don't ever go? What, like, dang, you don't ever like, you know what I'm
That.
saying? So, okay,
I wasn't ghetto enough.
you and rah enough.
I'm not rah enough. Am I not loud enough? Like, would you really throw hands right now?
Right.
Like,
Shit, they like,
you know what I'm saying? So,
I
and
think
that's the
okay
woman,
to
and
admit
and that's the kind of woman that his mother is. So he attracts and likes those kind of women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I had that in a situation where I'm the complete opposite of that.
Right.
You know, so it really kind of was, it caused a little turmoil in our situation.
Yeah.
Because his baby mama's like that.
Yeah.
The woman he got a kid with is like that.
Right.
So he was used to that and actually kind of like got numb to that situation and dynamic because when he would step out of that, he wasn't used to the calm on the other side.
He wasn't used to any kind of peace.
At all.
Oh.
So it would cause friction because it was always trying to find something within our situation.
To get riled up about.
So I have
You
to
gotta
deal
look
with
at the
that.
astrology too, because sometimes that's an aphrodisiac for people. Fire signs, specifically Aries, that's Aries, Sag, and Leo. They like to fucking fight sometimes. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have some people that really don't want all of the mess, but some people like a little bit. And I think it's okay. I think self-awareness is really important because all that's saying is, you know, maybe I like a woman that's outspoken. Maybe I like a woman that, you know what I'm saying, will stand up for herself in any type of situation or scenario.
Yeah.
Or, you know, so, but I think that there is a fine line because, you know, it can border toxic if, you know, you're hoping that leads to, you know, or you're using that as a way to, like, you know, now we got a name call in order to get there. Like, or now we have to, you know what I mean, put ourselves, now you pulling situations out of a hat, like you were saying, just to get into it about something. And it's not really productive,
and then you get put in environments that'll make you be like, you got me fucked up.
Right.
You getting put in situations, or then the dudes start doing stuff where it's like, you got me all the way.
To press that issue. To
fucked
get that,
up subconsciously. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, and when you're not like that, you will just kind of kick back, peep. It's like, we'll address this at another time.
Right.
And for some men, that's the best way to go. For others, such as whoever we discussing, want you to address shit right. I think that's weak.
So what about the women though that like that in men though? Because it's a lot of women that do like men that are like that.
I won't say her name because she is my good girl. But let me tell you, I love her. Love her fucking story about her men. She gonna know because she's an avid listener of the show.
Okay.
But she told me. She was like, I still feel bad. I won't say no names, but she was like, girl,
she was like, I made him fight the second time we went out just to make sure that he is not. No, she was like, I feel bad, but I had to make sure, like, he, you know.
He was
right. You know, they've been together, right? Like, she was like, okay. Happily together ever since many moons ago. This is a decade plus in.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I think there is a fine line. Like, don't poke the bear. Don't try to. I don't know if I would have forced that personally, but I understand the
and they
desire.
were much younger. Like, we talking about late teen, early 20.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, this ain't no, I was 30, nothing. We talking about little, you know what I'm saying?
Go get something to eat and right. Yard house and shit. Like, wait a minute.
It'll take her to tell the story, but like, they were basically kids. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like that to know that you are protected because God forbid he come out on the losing end.
I know.
You know what I mean? That's the...
I think it's okay to lose face though. I think that sometimes we also feel like the man has to walk away being the victor. The main thing that you want to know is if your man is gonna get in there and protect and defend himself more than even defending you. Can you stand up for yourself and protect yourself?
I guess that's the same reverse.
Yeah, because you're not gonna necessarily win every single fight that you take. That's not how that go. You know what I'm saying? But are you scary? Will you at least will you protect yourself?
Yeah,
I think that's the whole thing.
Stand your ground.
Yeah, I'm with that, but Jesus.
You know, because if it would be on you, if he'd be like, okay, girl, if you get your ass beat, you know, because
and he might. Yeah, that goes back to whoever we was talking about. Like, bitch, you can't even. Don't even say shit. Like, be quiet. We go out. You got an attitude, and I got to beat bitches' asses.
Right.
And then I got to punch them to protect your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like all of the above. But oh god, this has been a day of toxic.
Oh my god, yeah. So I mean, just for Blue and Krishan, of course, like Mookie said, prayers and thoughts seriously.
No,
because
really, yeah.
I think because they let us in so much, it does seem like they are cousins, or you know what I'm saying. Our cousins.
And she's supposed to be pregnant and shit now.
And she's supposed to be pregnant. You know what I mean. And I just want to say
holding the belly already.
For her, God bless her and the baby, and then for him,
clothes already,
bro. And just for all, I'm done.
Somebody said, "Why are you holding the belly? The baby's 3 days old."
Girl.
It's the sight of a
Why are you holding the belly?
She's
girl,
only
the
like
baby's
23
3 days
or 24 years old. She's
not
so
3 days
young.
old.
Girl, that's today's lunch, honey.
But men, please understand that as you know, women are always the ones that are highlighted for being insecure, not really having a lot of self-worth, needing to go to therapy to sort through their issues and finding validation, you know, through the right things and all of that. Men, y'all got to do that too. Do the self-work. Understand that, you know, you can have insecurities and hang-ups too that you may not be aware of. Maybe it's subconscious, but, you know, start paying attention to the women that you start attracting. Are these positive, productive women to society, women with morale and character? Are you fucking with that box?
Especially as you start to get older, even in relationship, like Chris even said, like, shit, I thought I was attracted to one thing and it's like, I'm not. Like, especially as you get older. So it's like when you young, you don't really know. You still looking for trophy. You still looking for whatever it is you're looking for, but it's so many other qualities that go into picking a partner and what it is that you need out of that shit. Because when you start to look around the landscape of life, like I'm drilling it home even in my own head, like it really comes down to you, your partner, and any offspring you guys may have, or any that you may bring into the fold. Meaning adoption, foster, however you guys choose to design that family. But in the end, it's just y'all.
It's family.
It is just y'all. At the end, I went to my aunt's 80th birthday party a couple months ago and really looked around. My great aunt, I think I said that. And it's like, wow, this is really family. This is what you produce and what they produce and what they produce. And it really comes down to just that. And we get caught up in so much of the other bullshit, but
It's
my
that.
nigga,
That's it.
this is it.
That's it.
Like who do you really choose? You know,
and
what I'm
who will
saying?
the legacy be carried on?
Yeah,
with
that
and through?
really got your back. Like
real.
really got your back, because it ain't too many of them left. So many people are jaded as fuck. Jaded, flawed, guard, all kind of stuff. Then the older you get, so many men realize that after they played the game that they don't want to be single, and they 50. 55, they 60, then they just settling for who shot John, because they don't right.
The Regency and shit.
trying to get a young woman,
not the GS,
with the noters and all that.
And they
At
are.
the
It's
Regency
the
West,
truth,
girl.
and I'm
At the
seeing
Regency West.
it more and more that as men get older, they don't want to be single. After they done broke all the hearts that they could, they realize when women got tired of them, now they don't want to be single. Now
That's
they want to
true.
go out and look for somebody. Now
That
they want to
is so
get married
true.
in 4 months, when it's like the fun is done. Like what are we doing?
Yep, that's
we
so true.
we trying to piece up on some shit. We both headed to retirement, or what's up? Or now you trying to move into my space?
Yep.
The fuck out of here. The fuck.
Moving on.
Well, the fuck.
I don't know if you want to
Yeah.
say, Mookie, did you have something, or did you want me to? I could drop one more little thing. So
We got a minute. I got a question. Whatever the next question would be, we'll close it out with this.
with that one. Okay, so real quick. So I dropped on the Instagram. I had a video that I did for my Talk I Talk Back, and I basically was saying, like, should loyalty be the same? So I wanted to ask y'all the same question. I got crazy comments, mostly men in my comments, and you're a feminist. I was just
Lord.
I set up the question. They were thinking something totally different, which was really crazy. But do y'all feel like male loyalty and female loyalty should be the same? I basically said that male loyalty is protection, provision, willing to die for you, lay down his life, fight for you, like we were just talking about, protects you, all of those things, right? And then a woman's loyalty typically is sexual exclusivity.
Exactly.
Right? So those are polar opposites. Those are not the same thing. So should the loyalty be the same? Meaning, if I'm going to ask and require from my man sexual exclusivity, should I also then be, saying that I'm also willing to protect you, die for you? I just saw Avatar. If y'all have not saw Avatar, go see Avatar. It's a really, really good movie. And the mother of that movie was a true warrior. And she is somebody who would have died for her man. You know what I'm saying? And she was equipped and had the tools to physically be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? He had to wake her up like, man, we gotta go get these niggas.
I've always heard that movie is
You know what I'm saying? So,
multi-layered. I've heard that movie is multi-layered, but I never gave it a chance.
It's long, though.
It's deep. I mean, you have to see the first one and then the second
Okay,
one.
I
There's
have to watch the first one.
all these nuances or whatever. But she was a warrior, so I'm saying that that's a very small percentage of women that fit into the category of, I'm willing to go to war for my man and die by his side if I have to do that, or protect him if need be. So is it? First of all, is it fair? But two, like, do y'all feel like it should be the same or it should be different?
Well, that's I'm gonna add on to that question.
Yeah.
For one, mine's a short. Yeah, I do.
Yes.
I do, but I
Yes.
haven't been in all situations where the loyalty was definitely received. Like I've always given it, and that low key be my toxic trait: give loyalty and hope that it comes back or something. I don't know. I'm sure it's some toxicity in there somewhere, but yeah, I absolutely think it needs to be loyal. If we don't talk about being faithful, it's different. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how, but I feel like that and loyalty branches apart. Loyalty is all above whatever. You know what I mean? But I haven't always been in situations where it was given.
Yeah.
And at the in part two of that, because we said you're willing to go to war and we're speaking ride or die, when did you guys realize you wasn't as ride or die? What situation? I don't know, but I know that I'm not completely.
I did. I
you know what I
remember.
mean? I was like, oh, this isn't for me.
But I didn't like him like that.
isn't
Right.
for me.
This isn't for me.
He went to jail and he was trying to like get into the whole writing thing. I'm like, oh yeah, no. And I think this was like pre-college jail or something. Girl,
Oh, same. So I would say the same thing. I think somebody went to jail and they called me. And, I was like, I'm doing homework, bro. You got to give me a call back. I was like, this lifestyle ain't for me, honey.
Baby.
Yeah, I knew.
Get somebody else to do it.
Get somebody else. But I think it depends on the man. Like if my man now, I think would be different than the man that
Of course, but that's what I realized. But yeah, but as far as the loyalty, I think it depends on the person and how down they are for you, how loyal they are for you. I think that we can go to war. I'm ready to go to war about it. It's the clip of some girl saying, "Hey, you ready to go to war for it?" That's so. I'm gonna send y'all the video because I don't fucking know. But yeah, go ahead,
What's
Chris.
T? Oh well.
Should the loyalty match? Should the loyalty be the same, or should it be exclusive to what each gender provides?
It should absolutely be matched.
So it should be equal.
Yeah, and I hate that because there's a lot of topics actually on social media floating around this, right? And I always chime in. They be like, well, women always feel like it's the same and women are equal, but why the fuck not? Why can't I require of you what you require of me? If you want me to stay sexually exclusive to you, why can't I require that of you?
Is everything that you require from your man something that you're willing to do as well?
Absolutely.
Every single thing. Are you willing to open doors?
If we're locked in like that.
Are you opening doors?
What do you mean?
Like, if you guys go to a restaurant, can you switch off and open the door for him sometime and put him in the car and pull out his chair at dinner?
Yeah, but is that what a woman's role and responsibility is supposed to be?
Well, that's what I'm just talking about as far as the roles and responsibilities that are right. kind of built in and inbred in what men are supposed to do. And a lot of these things we get coddled and we get taken care of and catered to so often.
But
we don't know.
Those rules were also written a long time ago when men were doing a whole lot more. So they required 1, 2, 3 because I'm doing X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? They were... You know, they brought home the money, so they expected the clean home. You know what I'm saying? They paid for X, whatever
really,
what they were doing. I think
case by case.
They were pulling just overall. Even when we go back to the 1950s era, when most of this shit was crafted out of, and predates that, a lot of shit was just structured for this is the woman role. Female gender roles, I should say.
Right.
That's what a lot of that shit is, and we're kind of undoing. A whole lot of it. Even if we think about, like, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't like the whole marriage before sex, because that has something to do with more so like the kids, like, so we can know that these kids are yours because you guys are married. Like, a lot of this shit is bullshit. That's my point. So when you get into like, will you open the doors and all that stuff? No, but when you open it, I'll slide and unlock the shit. But you know what I mean. And and I'll take that back. It depends what a man will require. Like, that's what you want, I'm willing to do it.
Okay.
But if that's something you want, like for me, that's what I want.
Right.
And if you're okay with doing it, do it. But if you feel like, all right, I want my doors open now, you genuinely feel like it. All right. I wouldn't see the issue.
Case. Yeah, same. That. And if that's what my man required of me, and I know that I'm getting what I need from him, and he's getting what I need from me, I would not mind doing that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it would have to be. Again, it's case by case because every household is different.
Right.
Some women really strictly just want to be, I cook, I clean, and I sexually give and I provide, and then the man is the head of the household, he pays all the bills or whatever.
That's a dream.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just saying, whatever that situation is. But if my man said, you know, well, sometimes I feel like I would like for you to take on the responsibility, but then, you know what, next week I got it or whatever, and we switch off roles. And if that's what we got, if that's our arrangement in our household, then yeah, why not? If my nigga want me to open up the door, like, bitch, I want you to open the door sometimes too.
Right.
But you know what? When you know that next week when we go out to dinner or when we stepping out, I got you too.
Right.
And if that's what it is, then I'm fine with that.
I think in more the tangible sense, I feel like as women, a lot of women can say that, but then when they're in the active role of practicing it or acting it out,
it feels weird.
It may be different, and we may not be as open. And I think like the hypotheticals are always easier to latch onto because it's like, you know, we're just hypothetically speaking, but in real day, like, you know, day-to-day type of operations or whatever, I don't know how many women would actually be comfortable with sacrificing and giving up a lot of the luxuries that we are entitled to as just being women in today's society.
Right.
Even though a lot of these traditional, you know, roles and things that they may be, you know, enacting upon us are old school, we're still benefiting from them.
Right.
And I don't think that we
Absolutely.
even notice. I don't think we even notice how many we actually get afforded.
Because we pick and choose which
what we want to be.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that as far as double standards are concerned, I think that, you know, as long as they are benefiting us or behoove us, I think that we're a lot more inclined to, you know, support those opposed to some of the ones that may not be a little more challenging.
And I found myself in situations where I felt like I was doing the things that the man should do in the relationship.
Right.
Like, I felt like I was dominating the relationship.
Yeah.
Like, I was always planning the dates.
Yeah.
Maybe I was paying a little bit more than he was.
Right.
You know, I was kind of stepping up and doing the roles that you would think that the man should do.
To where it was actually
categorized.
Equal,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I felt like, but that was because I felt like I loved him and I was loyal to him and I wanted to do that. I was playing that role in that situation.
Yeah.
But it wasn't reciprocated. I feel like what's the word for it? Like, I kind of handicapped him because I was stepping up so much.
Yeah.
He wasn't like reciprocating at all. He wasn't stepping up to the plate at all because he was so used to me doing everything. It was when I felt like I just wanted to relax and be in my soft space, or I didn't feel like doing all that. He couldn't show up. He couldn't show up because I was always showing up. I was always the one that was dominating the situation, and he was never showing up. So I handicapped him from showing up. You know what I mean? So I found myself in more of those situations than not. So I'm like, in the space that I'm in now, I'm like, you know what? I would love for it to just be a little bit of like...
A little bit of both?
Both. 50-50.
Do you guys find yourself being low or high maintenance partners?
Low or high maintenance
That's
projects?
a
Like,
good
and what's the
question.
context? Like, what?
Mean how much has to be done to obtain your happiness? Like in the context of friendship, right? I would say I'm a low maintenance friend because you don't have to call me every day. You don't have to tap in with me every single day.
Right.
There's no love lost. I know what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in the context of girlfriend, like, do you find yourself same situation, but do you find yourself like a high maintenance girlfriend, low maintenance girlfriend? Like you have to do every week. Every 2 days we have to go out out to dinner. We have to do this. We have to do that. You have to shower me with this. I have to have this. Are you pretty much
Well, my love languages are words of affirmation and quality time.
Yeah.
So I know when it comes to my man, as long as we're spending time together and consistently enough, I don't give a fuck if we're in the house every day.
Sure.
As long as I'm with you, I'm fine.
Pardon me.
And as long as I can hear, like, I love you, you're doing a good job, or if I can hear a little bit of something like that here and there, I'm fine.
You're done. Yeah, you're fine.
You don't have to spend money on me. You don't have to buy the bag. We don't need to go to Crusaders every weekend.
Right.
So I don't know if that's considered low maintenance because I just know that I just need reassurance from you that you love me. I know men, they love you and they want to be with you because they spend their time with you.
Yeah.
You can be anywhere else, but if you're with me, okay, there's something.
That's saying something, yeah.
Your time is everything. And niggas ain't spending their time with a bitch that they don't want to spend their time with.
Right.
So if you can give me every other day, or if you can give me a call here and there, and we can conversate, then I feel like, okay, we got something. Yeah. So I don't need to be able to have to go out every weekend. Right. I don't need you to spend money on me.
Like a low maintenance. Like
I feel like it's low maintenance because all I need is how else do I know that you fuck with me? How else do I know that you love me and care about me and want to spend time with me or feeling me? What separates me from everybody else? Your time to me is what separates me.
So if you don't get that, then what happens?
I feel like you're not fucking with me.
What's your reaction though?
Hold on. What about you, fella?
Right, we had 4 minutes.
I know.
What about you? Because I gotta get to the next part.
I'm low maintenance. I'm low maintenance. I'm not.
Look, well, why? Why are you low maintenance?
I just have my own stuff going on.
Yeah.
So.
Period.
With that being said, I want to introduce something that we're going to get to next week, and it's the imposter syndrome. I had a quick question, a quick thought about it. But we want y'all to think about it until next time. And it's 5 different ones. I just focus on the natural genius in this imposter syndrome type. You may feel like a fraud simply because you do not believe that you are naturally intelligent or competent. If you don't get something done right the first time around, or it takes you longer to master a skill, you feel like an imposter. So relax in that, and we'll be back.
Wrap us up, Kay.
All right, wrap us up. Well, you know what? This was a fun episode.
Well, you know what?
You know what?
A lot of things shared. A lot of things learned.
Right. That was a great episode. You know what? At the end of the day, just don't be toxic.
Don't be toxic, y'all. Get y'all therapy.
Don't be toxic.
Or acknowledge it and work on it, you know?
Yeah, communicate.
Please.
No fighting.
Because we've all been toxic. I think we need to start talking. Maybe when the next episode, we'll talk about our toxic, some toxic
traits.
Toxic trates. I know we got some toxic.
I have some.
What are your toxic traits?
What are your toxic traits for sure?
Yeah, we'll talk about that next pod.
Again, we appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode. Continue to follow us, tap in, share, like, drop your comments.
Remember that?
TrioPod_. I am Chrissy B.
Wait, we
follow
should
me.
should we do like a little drop so we can pin on our page, follow here or something? Should we do any of that?
I thought we did. We just didn't do that.
That's what I was doing.
So Trio at TrioPod _. At TrioPod_ on Instagram. Y'all let us know what y'all want us to talk about too in the comments of anything and everything that we have going on. And thank you guys for your viewership.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Morris Media Studio. Shout out to Miss P for having us. And we are back next week or the week after. We'll see y'all soon. Peace out.
Peace.